Wake up, Pittsburgh! I'm Matt Peiken, and this is your local newscast for Wednesday, February 25th. McCandless Town Council has voted to bar its police department from assisting with federal civil immigration enforcement. The decision came after more than 2 hours of public comment at a standing room-only meeting attended by more than 100 residents. The resolution says the town will continue to enforce criminal warrants and court orders, but won't enable or assist ICE or CBP with civil law enforcement or help federal immigration authorities identify, detain, and begin removal proceedings against immigrants. Supporters say the move keeps local officers focused on local policing. Read more about this at WESA. Casa San Jose, a Pittsburgh area nonprofit that has assisted immigrants for about 15 years, says it has temporarily closed its center amid what its executive director, Monica Ruiz, describes as a sharp uptick in local ICE activity. Ruiz told WPXI Chief Investigator Rick Earle that she asked staff and clients to stay home and shifted services to remote support because people are afraid to shop, work, or send children to school. Ruiz disputed federal messaging that enforcement is focused on violent offenders, citing recent apprehensions of 2 men she says had no criminal records. She says the group may reopen with staff wearing body cameras. Read more about this at WPXI. The immigration arrest of a Sewickley father, whose 6-year-old daughter is being treated for Hodgkin lymphoma, has sparked protests and drawn attention from local leaders. Bruno Guedes de Silva was arrested Sunday in Glen Osborne and is being held in a West Virginia jail pending immigration proceedings. ICE says Sewickley is wanted on felony charges filed last month in Allegheny County. Supporters say he has valid work authorization and are raising money for legal and medical costs, but ICE notes that employment authorization, quote, does not confer any type of legal status. Read more about this in the Post-Gazette. A Pittsburgh area nonprofit is urging parents to watch for warning signs of sextortion after investigators say at least 21 boys were targeted in a recent case. Police allege Zachariah Myers, an 18-year-old Peters Township High School senior, posed as an adult film star from the Netherlands, leading at least 14 teenagers to send explicit images. William McGinnis, Director of Education for Pittsburgh Action Against Rape, says young people are often misled and afraid to speak up. He urges parents not to respond with punishment and encourages friends to report concerns. Myers faces more than 300 felony charges. Read more about this at KDKA. And after a 32-hour shift in Pittsburgh, a nationally registered paramedic says exhaustion delayed his recognition of a patient's life-threatening heart condition. P. Daniel Patterson, who also teaches at the University of Pittsburgh, writes that many emergency medical service clinicians routinely work 18-hour shifts or longer, often with little sleep. Research shows more than 80% report fatigue, which increases the risk of injury and medical error. Patterson argues that short on-duty naps, even 30 minutes, can improve alertness and safety, and he says many employees are open to formal napping policies. Read more about this at the Tribune Live. Our free newsletter is a quick local news digest, essentially this newscast in written form. Subscribe at wakeuppit, that's pit.transistor.fm. You can also find us on Facebook and Instagram at wakeuppit, and please share this podcast with your friends who care about this city. I'm Matt Peiken. Thanks so much for starting your weekdays with Wake Up Pittsburgh.